I'm Courtney Ingham, and I am a Western tropical astrologer. I offer weekly astrology reports every Monday featuring the planetary and lunar energies for the week ahead. All times mentioned are in Eastern Standard Time. Becoming a subscriber is free, and all subscribers get additional free content. Becoming a paid subscriber is only $5 a month and helps to support this podcast. Paid subscribers receive discounts off of my readings and other offerings. Enjoy the show. Hello, Astro friends. This is your forecast for Monday, September the 18th through Sunday, September 24th. We're getting to the end of September already. Another month has flown by. And the astro energies for this week are pretty internal. We're going to be working on some big stuff with the themes around healing, transformation, taking some deep dives as we do have quite a lot of energy around Chiron happening this week. Chiron, the wounded healer. This is a great week to pull in the resources that may be unconventional that you have found that work for you and your healing, because Chiron is actually all about unconventional healing. We do have this week starting with the lunar energies of Scorpio. So you may naturally already be drawn to some of your witchy ways, your occult healing modalities as it would be. So that naturally very much aligns. I'll go ahead and start, as I always do, with our lunar energies for this week. As I mentioned, we do have the moon entering the sign of Scorpio on Monday the 18th at 12:58 a.m. That's Eastern Standard Time. And we will be, therefore, in the energy of a very sensitive and intuitive space. This is where we may want to take some deep dives into some information that may not really be publicly available. This is great energy to jump down those rabbit holes and get into the fun obsession of what lies below the surface. That's very Scorpio energy. Scorpio energy is very good at research. They are the natural detectives of the zodiac. And this is an energy where we may also want to be aware of taking that too far, becoming too obsessive. Though this Scorpio energy also really does make us inclined to doing shadow work. So that's very much available to us at the start of this week, as we will be in this Scorpio energy through Wednesday, when at 10:05 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, the moon will be moving into the sign of Sagittarius. And with this Sagittarius moon, the energy gets lighter. This is a much more adventurous, free spirit energy, great for taking trips, great for being in nature, exploring. And it's also a lucky energy, so great time to take a chance and, try your luck, buy a lotto ticket. Something like that would be a great idea. Maybe if there's something that you've needed to have some luck with, Wednesday would be a great time to utilize that Sagittarius energy. And we will be in this energy through Friday, when at 4:20 p.m. we have the moon moving into Capricorn. And moon in Capricorn is very serious energy. So we're going from that light, fluffy Sag energy into this more serious and ambitious energy. It's a great time to maybe check some boxes around goals that you have, especially career goals on Friday. And it could be something related to your business or work that you have been meaning to do. You may feel more driven to do that. Anything around making those adult or mature decisions are great to do with a Capricorn moon. And we will be in this Capricorn moon energy through Sunday when the moon moves into the sign of Aquarius. And the Aquarius moon energy will make us more social, desirous of potentially hanging out with groups, with friends. We'll want to be careful to do something special for our nerves and the nervous system. I recently was reading about Aquarius energy and how when you have a lot of strong Aquarius energy, the nerves can be very delicate. And this potentially could be something that's easily frazzled by electromagnetic frequencies. And taking care of this would be maybe something to focus on while we're all in this Aquarius moon energy. Maybe have some new habits around taking care of our nerves and our nervous system. Maybe turn the Wi-Fi off at night while you're sleeping if you don't already do that. We have ours set on a timer. Yeah, do something soothing, something that maybe really helps you to settle your nerves. Walking barefoot on earth, great idea to discharge some of that energy as well. Now, the Aquarius moon is your nonconformist energy. That's where we may want to express our unique personality, where we're different. We might really be ready to share this energy. It's also a very charitable energy. It's all about humanitarian interests and serving others, especially doing charity work, group work. So that might be something for you to explore as well while we have this Aquarius moon energy. And actually that will be taking us into the early part of next week, actually Tuesday evening. And we are, because we just recently had a new moon in a building moon phase. This is a waxing moon phase. And the waxing moon phase is where we are putting energy towards our intentions that hopefully you did set around that new moon that we recently had, and creating our lives. There's a lot of manifestation energy in the chart for this week that I'll talk about. It's really transformative energy. It's kind of about, having some power around creating what we want to create, but also with a healing vibration. And maybe it's more about letting go of some of the patterns, some of the trauma, some of the wounds that we have in order to heal at this time. There'll be a lot of momentum for that as well. So I'm going to go ahead and hop right into the planetary aspects happening this week. On Tuesday, the Sun in Virgo is going to oppose Neptune, which is retrograde in the sign of Pisces. So the Sun opposed Neptune. This can make us more susceptible to deception. We'll want to definitely be aware of that in case something comes up, maybe in the mainstream, maybe politically, who knows, to just be aware of what is going on and be careful. We can really lack boundaries in this Neptunian energy. And we can also have a great lack of clarity. Neptune can really make things a bit foggy and unclear. This is also an energy that often coincides with low self-esteem. And we'll want to be aware of this. I do feel that this is going to very much be involved with some of the later energy this week with Chiron around self-esteem, around self-value. So perhaps we will be diving into some of this energy already early this week in order to get more clarity. When it comes to healing, a lot of times the ego really does need to take a back seat. And with Chiron being in the energy of Aries, it wouldn't be unusual for us to encounter themes around the ego and vulnerability. Now, we can have insights come through in this energy. This can be a very intuitive energy, but again, we want to be really careful with not being deceived. And this would really depend on where you have your Virgo house, where you have your Pisces house in your chart. It will really depend on what things are aspecting your own natal Neptune to kind of see and understand your pattern around these things and which way you could potentially go in this energy. We do on Tuesday still have the moon in Scorpio, so maybe we will have a good amount of discretion to, have that awareness of what's coming through and not be deceived. Our next big aspect is happening on Thursday when we have the sun again in Virgo trining with Pluto in Capricorn. And Pluto is retrograding through Capricorn as well. This is very powerful energy, this trine. I actually have this trine in different signs in my own chart. In this energy, we could really channel the power of Pluto. Pluto being, I would definitely call the most powerful planet in the chart. And being that it's in Capricorn, being that the sun is aspecting it in Virgo, these are both earth signs. This is about manifestation. This is about really having the power to create, to make something happen. It may really be ambitious energy for us. And just consider, what is it that your intention is at this time? What is it that you'd like to manifest? This can also be a lot of energy around inner strength, personal empowerment. And it can also bring up what has been unconscious to you. And in this energy of Virgo, you may have the steps available to you, the clarity available to you of what to do next. What is the next best thing to do? We do have Mercury, ruler of Virgo, going direct. So clarity is definitely in store for us all. The next big energy happens on Saturday as we have the sun joining Mars in the sign of Libra. This ingress for the sun into the sign of Libra is going to open us up to Libra season. Happy birthday to all of you Libras out there. This is a big relationship sign. We will definitely see for the next month that the sun is in this sign that we very much will be drawn to one-on-one relationships, relationship building, balance. Libra is the scales of justice and the scales of balance. It's really all about fairness and themes like that. We also will be having on Saturday Venus in the sign of Leo, trining Chiron in the sign of Aries. So here we go. We're pulling in this energy of Chiron here at the end of the week. This is the wound. And in the sign of Aries, as well as being aspected by Venus, who is in the sign of Leo, it very much can bring up aspects of the wound around self-worth, around self-validation. And we may have some assistance. That would be the trine energy. It's very complementary. From a female figure, from a feminine figure in our life. Venus often represents that around our wound energies, especially around, healing any energies of self-worth or needing validation for the self at this time. And I wanted to share this quote by Rumi that came through to me while I was feeling into this energy. The wound is the place light enters you. And I'm sure you've heard that before. I think that's really beautiful. And it really speaks to Chiron so poetically. Because Chiron is where we can get really focused on, this is my wound, this is what I have to overcome, this is what I have to heal. But Chiron is also where we are the healer. This is also the process of healing, how the process of healing goes for us, what our story around healing has really been like. And, without these areas in our chart where we have these difficulties, quote unquote difficulties, this wound energy, we really wouldn't have this extra space where we can have the light come in for us. And that is something that I think is really powerful about the Chiron journey. And just as a reminder, I do have my Chiron class scheduled October 3rd. If anybody would like information on that, you can message me or email me. In this energy of Venus trining with Chiron an affirmation that came through that may be very potent for us is, I am enough. As is, I am enough. There's nothing that needs to be done. You came here whole and perfect, and really life is all about simply remembering that. So this is a new opportunity where we can approach these areas of self-worth that may come up from a new angle. And if you've been doing work with your Chiron, if you've been doing work around self-worth, you may find that these areas are getting easier. They don't necessarily go away, but you may find that they're not stumping you as much as they may have in the past. And that is to be celebrated if you're finding that that's the case for yourself. This is also a place where we have the energy of, hey, it's okay that you have this going on. It's truly okay that you have a wound. It's truly okay that these things may be coming up into your awareness, because if we're not aware of this, then we can't really work with it. We do have a lot of that Pluto energy in the chart for this week. It is going to dive deep and dig up into the subconscious things that we have not been aware of. It's important to be prepared and ready for this if in case any of this happens this week, so you're not struck off guard. However, this is a part of the process of healing. I love how Pluto is working with this chart this week, and we can really learn how to embrace these energies. On Sunday, we have Mars in the sign of Libra opposing Chiron in the sign of Aries. Again, I want to remind you that we do have the nodal axis that has recently shifted into Aries and Libra. The North Node is in Aries, really empowering our way forward in Aries, which also happens to be where the transiting Chiron is located. And that is really beautiful, really powerful energy around healing of the wound in and of itself. And when we have this opposition from Mars, this can kind of be showing up as where it hurts. This can be also, painful truths coming to light. Things that we may not have really wanted to look at, but Mars being the ruler of Chiron, the ruler of the North Node, in this area where the South Node is, South Node being energies that we're leaving behind, energies that are emptying out right now, we really have a lot of energy around that going on, a lot of potential to really work with the Libra energies that we are letting go of at this time. And likely the case is that this could be around healing relationships, relationship patterns in particular that are not serving us being that Aries energy, us being, Mars, which is the ruler of Aries, and just having so much impact from every angle right now, supporting us in being more sovereign, being strong, standing up for ourselves, and also letting go of these patterns and relationships that have potentially led us to throw ourselves under the bus, not stand up for ourselves, have these codependent relationships perhaps. It's really showing us where we're strong just on our own. Now, this Mars opposition to Chiron could really be a catalyst, an actual thing happening, an actual person coming through and instigating a healing, instigating a change. And this could be also showing up as an insecurity in relationships, in our role in relationships. This could be our fears in relationship, perhaps that fear of losing ourselves in relationship that very much speaks to Mars in Libra, that very much speaks to the nodal axis as well. So just be aware of what comes up towards the end of this week in that regard. And that, my friends, is the big energy for this week. Thank you so much for joining me. Again, I want to remind you, I do have my Chiron class I am going to keep that open for anyone who would like to join us. It is October 3rd. The cost will be $40. We will be looking at the archetype around Chiron, and we will be looking at chart examples. I do have a full amount of chart examples for the class. I've been working on putting the class together, and I will not have time for any more chart submissions, but you are still welcome to join the live class. I will also be recording the class for people who may want to purchase it later, or people who can't make the live class but still want to get the information. And I'm going to open a Telegram group for those interested in the class that may want to work together to help workshop their Chiron energies. You can submit your chart to the group for feedback from the other group members if you are interested in doing that, and try out what you've learned together. That's practice is what makes perfect. And that is also why I'm calling this a Chiron workshop, because you're going to get a chance to apply what you learn to help other people navigate questions or inquiries or just energies around their personal Chiron placements. We have a lot of really interesting charts to look at together. And again, that is October 3rd. It's going to happen at 7 p.m. And the cost is $40. All right, I'll be back next Monday, as always, with your weekly overview. Take care. Thank you so much for joining me for this podcast. And if you have any comments you'd like to leave, I enjoy hearing from you and would love to communicate with you in the comments to hear how the energies are landing for you. And if you happen to have a friend who you think will enjoy this podcast, please do share it with them. I'm back every Monday with your weekly overview on my Substack account at courtneyingham.substack.com.